Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. My name's Moon, and we're joined by Fadril and Xuse.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
And we are presently at Adren's Crossing, which is located in the world of Pax Dei, Early Access, within verse 4. We are presently in Bronyr, which is located in Caries. And Fadril has built this wonderful, wonderful castle site, and we would love to invite you to go along with us on a tour of it today. I'm just panning around so everyone can see just how massive this undertaking was.
Over 3 months to build. Everything that you guys see was made out of granite for foundation. There is no gneiss of the rock, um, and a lot of limestone.
And I am with you all, so if we'd like to proceed into the castle. We've got the two entryway towers here. And to welcome visitors, we've got the wonderful market located all around us presently. Really close to the river. And I'll show you on the map location where we're at. So we're in the northern part of Bronyr.
I designed this area out here because I wanted a really nice resting spot where those who are part of the castle can just relax, but also kind of keep an eye out on any passerbys. Maybe have some friendly conversations and kind of keep an eye on the main road. This is the north road that goes to Elis.
As well as be able to say hello to our friends and other clanmates that are built nearby, including Xuse's house across the river. We've got a storage tower over here, right outside the little cottage.
So when I was originally designing the castle, um, I took pieces from a lot of historical castles and kind of merged several things into one. And when you're building a castle this size, you kind of needed to have a place that you could call home in the meantime. So that's what this little cottage was originally for Moon and myself, kind of like a little mini base of operations, so to speak, while I was able to work on the rest of the castle.
Second bedroom here. Got a little courtyard, which leads you right to Moon's Health Clinic. Fadril is very thoughtful in his designs. I've got a couple patient rooms where I can treat individuals that need it from the community, as well as a little customized check-in desk here that I absolutely love, as well as the little area here that I can use for gardening and growing herbs to use in my practice, as well as my alchemy. And then you'll have to take the lead on the cathedral here.
A cathedral is something that I've been wanting to build in Pax Dei for a while, and I really wanted to go grand. I wanted something that was also universal. Pax's lore is, still in development, and there was some at the time that I started building this, but I wanted it to be universal in theology, so that there was so many different um, religions that could come here and, pray, worship, or what have you. Um, and I wanted it so it was welcoming to all. On top of that, the cathedral is actually 11 stories tall. That includes a foundation leveling and a full basement underneath this as well. It is made out of a lot of granite. The walls are limestone. All the wood that you see is pretty much accents. The stability really comes from the granite itself. And I double the amount of woodwork that you have going on up with the rafters to really give it that epic feel. And like all things in PAX, the roof was one of the hardest things to put together, especially something that is that tall. But this was a labor of love, and the decorations, all the flowers and the lighting and the angled benches and everything, that was all done by Mune. And when we take the tour through the rest of this castle, that's a big nod to her because you can see all the decorations that she has done. She does that so well.
Thank you. I definitely have a ton of fun doing this.
And the altar was all handmade up there. Um, there are no real crosses in the game unless you hand make them. With the lighting effect and the way that I did the woodworking, it make it look like there was a cross from the door entry.
And it is very much a place of solace, and basically we wanted it to be any one of any faith or follows any deities can come here and find a space for them. But it turned out absolutely gorgeous. That door's not behaving today, I'm sorry. Then we've got a little seated area overlooking the other part of the crossroads where we're located. And then since we both have our trades that we like to partake in and practice, one of the spaces that he mentioned before was underneath the cathedral.
So if you would imagine uh, at this point, even though you don't see anything down here but lighting really, this is the storage area. So this is where we're actually going to have all the chests for us, and then we'll have sections for the clan as well.
Hmm. And there is an alternate section that he built specifically for my alchemy, which is great because as I'm creating my tinctures, sunlight is tincture's worst enemy. So I'm able to create the medicines and then use them in my health clinic.
I
And
also
we've,
thought that it was kind of neat to have alchemy also kind of part of the cathedral. It seemed like it was kind of fitting
mm-hmm,
when you think about health tonics and aids and things of that nature.
absolutely. Oh, and then we've got a tunnel down this way that leads outside of the actual castle grounds, externally accessible. We've got more of the industrial area in the castle. And we'll start here. We've got our brick kilns, as well as Fadril was very innovative in creating the charcoal pit area for me. So it just wasn't having everything heaped on the ground. And makes for
So
easy clean out.
yeah, I, you know, there's so many great builders in Pax Day, and I like to go around and take a look at what other people have created. And I did see uh, someone build something similar to this, and I liked it. What I ended up doing is I built upon it and made my own version of it, and that's what you see
Mm-hmm.
here.
Yeah, it turned out great, and it's was so nice to use. And the fact that there's the stairs here that gives me direct access to the top level as well without having to hop was very nice. Very well done. We've got the little workshop area. And I can't stress enough, there is no niece in any of this. We've had to bury how many pickaxes?
A lot of pickaxes.
And then we've got probably the teeniest tower in the whole grounds. And we've got storage.
Granted, it looks teeny from this perspective,
Mm-hmm.
but if you look at it from the ground level outside the castle, then it's not, it's modest, but it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
real short.
It
But
becomes
compared to the
permanent
other towers,
cluster.
yeah, compared to the other towers, it is the shortest.
And I'm showing them an outside view right now, too. And you can see that portcullis. That's the external um, access from where the tunnel was that we showed you earlier. And then we've got our little naturey space here with a bunch of happy bees. And one of the realities of Pax Day is that to work on your craft, sometimes you need to set up a bit more stations than maybe you would want to once you were proficient at it. So he created this space for me where all the industrial furnaces and whatnot could stay, but yet we didn't have to necessarily look directly at them all the time in our time here in Pax Day.
Yeah, originally we were going to go with three furnaces, but we were able to have a little bit of redesigning so we could squeeze in a fourth, plus having the smaller furnaces here. But
Mm-hmm.
it has worked. It has worked out.
Yeah, this was such a great layout for creating all the thousands of ingots that we needed. And we'll go back down this way so we can show them the entry gate into the more private spaces. And Xuse is so good at hiding, I haven't seen him. Maybe
I
he'll
was
pop up someday.
communicating with a visitor.
Oh, did we have a visitor?
Yeah, Genessica has showed up.
Nice.
Always welcome to
Thank
have
you.
visitors come. Yep.
So we've got the entry gate and access to both the towers here. Again, more storage. And this tunnel here connects to the back of my health clinic, which was a super great idea, by the way. Additional storage tower with access right here. If you were to go to the left, you would actually connect to the back of where we've got the brick kilns and the charcoal pits. And this gigantic tower, I think it's the biggest tower on the grounds, right?
It is. It's quite massive.
So for the basement area, he had the fantastic idea here.
So the idea behind this tower was to actually have a place for our close guests, so close friends, to be able to rest their heads. So this whole tower is basically bedrooms, um, for places so they can stay. And then I also wanted to have the crafting stations at the very lower levels in case, while they're here, if they wanted to create things.
Mm-hmm. And I love how this all pulled together down here. And the fact that you've got the mini stalls so they have a little bit of differentiation, but yet everything's easily accessible still. And we'll go up to the first floor. It's got an external door here. If you want to tell us a bit about these rooms.
So this is the first level, as Moon said, of the tower, and these rooms are all um, bedrooms. So, and to me, one of the hardest parts of creating rooms in a round tower is the fact that you're trying to put something kind of square or rectangle inside a circle. So it was quite a challenge to be able to do so. That's why some of the rooms are a little odd shaped, but they're large enough so they can house the beds, and furnishings, and so make a nice living area for guests.
Mm-hmm. And this is probably my favorite part within the tower, to be honest.
So I wanted something really different that would set this tower apart from all the other towers. I decided to create spiral staircases. While that alone is not that difficult, I took it a step further and went alternating patterns with glazed tile and then the slate going all the way up, accented by limestone.
That turned out incredibly
And
well.
and it that continues on all the way to the top.
Mm-hmm. And we got another floor of rooms here for guests. And then what's a place to stay if you don't have a place to lounge and enjoy time together? And we're actually way far up here, believe it or not.
Yeah, this is a really tall tower. There's some space around yet on this side of the table, and the idea was to have music bands or to have dances, or all the above festivities up here. So that's why there's extra floor space.
Hmm, definitely. And it is very beautiful at nighttime too. And in fact, we've got some photos that we'll share over in the Cheeky Buggers United Discord. So if you're interested, I will leave a link down in the description so you can find it. But if you exit here, we've got a little side yard area, and you will have to tell us more about this space.
So what is a castle without having a little bit of action, right? So in this case, action is referring to medieval fighting. So I created a fighting list, basically a safe place where combatants can go and either practice, learn new uh, stances, and to better themselves, or to have tournaments. So that's what this little place is for. The tables and chairs is for those who, when there is a tournament, to be able to watch and enjoy. Or if the combatant happened to have a consort at the time, the consort would be able to have a seat as well and watch their fighter too. So it's a great spot for
Mm-hmm.
that.
Turned out really well. And we've made sure that there are fresh libations available at every table too. We don't want anyone going hungry or thirsty around here. And I think it'll work out if we go up this way, correct?
Yes, we can circle around.
Okay, so we've got the little square tower here. And an outdoor entertainment area, complete with customized table. He did such a great job on this, didn't he? And these sections here for shade throughout the day.
Yep, the design was to have ample lighting, whether it's moon or sun, depending on what type of ambience that you're looking for, but to still have shade over the seating area.
Mm-hmm. And then you've got one statue over here, which is like a fountain. And across the way, we'll go look at this other one you did as well. So there's the tower we were just in, by the way. And a terrace overlooking the valley. And it's great
Oh,
because each vantage point gives you something else to look at. It's not all the same.
yeah, there's a lot of great views up here.
As well as gives us time to get advance notice to the Blood Brothers if anyone's coming through that maybe we want to be aware of or keep an eye on. You know, keep those bandits out and keep the free people free. And did we want to go with the Great Hall first or the personal housing?
We can go to the personal housing first. Well,
Okay.
what do you want?
Or actually, I'm going to modify that just a little bit. We should go through this space and look out the other side here. He did such a great job with this.
There are a lot of challenges when trying to build on sides of mountains or cliffs. So creativity is it really pushes your creativity. Let's kind of put it that way.
Hmm.
Um, in order to create ample space, create flat area surfaces for you to build upon. But that said, it also gives you some of the most incredible views, in my opinion, in Pax Day.
It does. So we've got a higher vantage point of the road traveling south from Ewas. And what you're looking at over there right now is Ewas. And to the south, we have the rest of Bronyr.
Strategically, this tower made a lot of sense. You can have watch the road really closely, um, and it's very fortified. And way up here is only accessible if you come through the main and the secondary gatehouses. So,
Major
and
props for
again,
this.
thank you. And what Moon said as well, that the views are just incredible up here.
And I have to say, too, the ravens that come in with the messages, they love finding me on that tower. And we'll head up to the personal housing here. And I'm not kidding either. This area all looked like a bunch of that. And he was able to design and build the castle from that, which is absolutely amazing to me. I know I couldn't do it.
3.5 months of labor of love.
This is the foyer area where we can receive visitors or just hang out and chat and visit with folks. And if we proceed through the double doors here, this is a guest room that is for like very important people. We have a certain young princess that means a ton to us in our lives that we were happy to make sure she had a place to stay. As well as my daughter when she's in town, but she's a real traveler, so she comes and goes. And it's got a lot of nice windows, so really great views.
Some of the best lighting in Pax Day is the natural lighting. So I really like to incorporate the windows for that. It's just, it really gives a really smooth ambience to the build.
And he hand built this fireplace too.
The fireplaces have kind of been my trademark in a way. Most of my builds will have my own designs, and not all the fireplaces will look identical. I try to make them look different so they're kind of unique in the rooms,
Mm-hmm.
but they're a lot of fun to do.
Definitely. And then we'll head upstairs to our personal room. And we'll start with a fireplace.
So one of the things that I do when I do fireplaces, especially on buildings that have multiple stories is I will use the same fireplace and build on top of it again. So it's like one continuous fireplace from floor to floor. That can be kind of difficult, but I think overall the look is very rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
And aesthetically, it makes sense as well as functionality.
Absolutely. And the four corner post bed turned out great, so I was very excited to see that come together. If
Mune created that on her own. This is her design. Um, this is not her first iteration of it, and every time that she builds them, she improves upon it. She has outdone herself. She's done a really, really good job. So,
Thank
Pax,
you.
give mainframe, give her an award for that, would you please?
If anybody knows me, they know that building is not my forte. So to take these individual pieces and even build this, it's kind of a miracle. And it's still standing, it didn't fall. I always tease that at launch, basically, I tried to build my first house and I could never figure out the roof. So I lived in a house with no roof for a while. So this is one of the beautiful balconies. It gives you even a taller view of the road headed north up into Awas. You've got a little area for dining and relaxing, and one for just sitting and, again, taking some rest and relaxation. And a matching balcony out the other side that again looks down the valley. We've got the Petra May up on that hill over there too. So if anyone's traveling from that direction, we can generally have an updated advance notice that they're on the way, which is great. And then we've got the $1 million door here for the $1 million view.
Yeah, this turned out really well. I love the view from here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, strategically, we can still see people coming in the entryway and up the long stairs. So it's also a
Mm-hmm.
focal point for us to be able to watch for any guests.
Absolutely. And since the clans spread out all through the valley, we wanted this to be a shared space where maybe they can come and stay for a bit. They've got access to workshops where they can work on their equipment or perhaps order up some weaponry because I specialize in that, as well as get food because he's one of the best cooks in the whole region. Were there any final thoughts you'd like to share, Fadril?
From up here? No, no, we still have the Great Hall yet.
Oh, that's right. Yep. See, the view just takes my breath away and my brain, apparently. So I will share a secret. I tried to do a dry run of this morning, and I actually did it backwards. So in my brain, I've already like video recorded the Great Hall. As I like to say, I'm time traveling. Don't mind me.
So the main sleeping quarters, basically the entire upper portion, including the Great Hall and even the tower, was all finished in 4 days.
Mm-hmm. A lot of hard work and love went into the project. Hey, it's Xuse and Genessica. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
So glad to see folks enjoying the Great Hall. And he hand built this raised section as well as this table for us.
Well, asked if I would be able to make a raised table for the head table. And I said, I can do that. And my mind went to that part. And then I'm like, I bet I can make a table. So I made the table from scratch as well. It is made out of limestone. And as you can see from the top parts, the glazed tiling. Kudos to the design team at Mainframe for designing that, because that is one of my favorite build pieces, is that glazed tile.
Mm-hmm. Really turned out wonderful. I don't know about you, but after all those stairs, I think I need to rest a while.
And we have guests, so we shouldn't keep them waiting.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. And let us know what your favorite part was down in the comments.
Thank you for taking a walk with us.
Yes. Take care.
Bye.